Hello, Tom Levecchia here with the latest edition of the New Theory podcast. Forgive my voice because I'm getting over a cold and there's a little bit remnants of it left, but I wanted to complete this podcast. I was really excited to have our next guest on. So let me just give a quick background. She's part of the agency, which is, a powerhouse in DC. She's part of a boutique brokerage, and she's literally, in just my opinion, the go-to person when it comes to DC. Won a ton of awards. What was it? Best Washingtonian, the Thousand. I mean, I could probably spend about a half hour on a number of awards that she has won. More importantly, we're going to hit her up for some advice today, and then what the market will look like in 2022, because this market is insane. So I got to make sure I pronounce it correctly. Nurit Coombe.
You got it.
Okay. So Nurit Coombe, welcome to New Theory Podcast. How you doing today?
Hey, wonderful. Thank you for having me.
Okay. So number one, I want to get into the why, right? So for obvious reasons, I could speak to New Jersey, New York. A lot of people wanted to get out of New York because they could work from home. They wanted a backyard. They wanted their kids to have a little spread out. And that makes sense, right? Give us a landscape in DC and how it panned out with the pandemic.
Yeah, so it's been so interesting in DC because same trend as throughout the United States, but it's almost on steroids in here. Um, People feel like, okay, if I lived in a condo, I need to have a backyard. I need to have an extra room for a Zoom. I'm working from my office from home. I need an office in my home. I actually need two offices in my home, or maybe three, one for the kids, one for my husband, one for me. So people really felt like they need to move, and it's almost became such a huge urge that it's psychological urge. So if I didn't like my kitchen before because it was small, now I can't stand it. I'm gonna have to move. I have to find a new place.
Yeah.
So really, that's and yard and all that stuff. The pools. Try to get a pool. Good luck.
I love that. I love the simple and clean explanation. So okay. So I decided to move, right? And this is where I don't want to say the word struggle, but this is where I can't get my head around. So I look at like businesses now, right? Even my own businesses. How much is of it was maybe some frenzy from the pandemic, and how much is organic? So what happens when the big company calls you back to work, or you got to go back into the bigger city, or you need to be in the field again? What's going to happen then, in your opinion?
So I think people are going to come back to the office, but maybe once or twice a week. A lot of corporations or companies have and employers have realized that my employees are very efficient working from home. They're actually available for me 10 hours or 12 hours. They
Yeah.
work all around the clock. They work harder. They roll out of bed, right to the phone, the computer, and start working.
Yeah.
So really, I think the biggest trend you see right now is this home office suites. You know, they're like the WeWork kind of thing. This is going
Yeah.
to be the biggest thing because people not going to want to work from home, but still gonna not going to go to the office, and they're going to want a small office close to home.
So you see this sticking, huh?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And especially now with the Delta and variants, and we feel like, okay, we're gonna go, but we're gonna go very, very once a week. We're gonna do what we gotta do, see everybody, whatever we need to do. But I'm so efficient from home.
Okay. So do you deal in commercial as well, or are you strictly residential?
Yeah, we do. I work with a lot of doctors in the medical field, so I do commercial. And commercial, I'm mostly residential, but I do
Yeah.
some commercial as well. And commercial got a hit, and I think it's gonna be even worse as we go along. Um, with the more COVID continues, but you're gonna see reinvention of commercial, where you, as I told you, there's gonna be a local offices. We're going to take the office, we're going to split it to 15 little offices, and we're going to rent them on a daily basis.
A
So
mini
you want,
rework, yeah.
yeah, you want it on Thursday and Friday? Great. That's what you're going to get this office for.
Now, the kind of a shared office space, but more decentralized, which makes perfect sense. What about? I want to go to the commercial side once more, and then we'll go over to the residential. On the commercial side, where's the appetite, or like should like let's say you were looking to open up that spa, or you're looking to open up that small business, and you're always a little worried in terms of like, the rent and some of the commercial real estate aspects. Is there opportunities now where maybe you can negotiate more free rent, more build out money, better terms, because maybe commercial real estate took a hit?
Yeah, so it's the time to negotiate a longer range rental, because the landlords will do a lot for you if you're going to sign 5 years lease or 7 years
Yeah.
lease. They're going to give you amazing build out. The competition is out there for them, and they want you in for the long haul. And you know what? It's going to change. COVID will not, we know it's all going to change. We're going to go back. We want to live. This is society. We are here to live our life, right?
Yeah.
We're not going to lock ourselves under the bed. So we'll come back, and commercial will come back, and you're going to need this office space. So if you really can, you should negotiate now.
Okay. I love it. Now I want to go to residential, and I want to try to do the full lineage. So going back to like January, February, and then COVID started hitting, what did you initially do as a realtor and broker, et cetera, in your space? What did you do initially? And in the beginning, did you get it right or wrong?
Yeah. So personally, by the way, I immediately went and ordered 4,000, actually it was 6,000 face masks. I was the only one in this area that had face masks. And I donated to the communities, to nursing
Awesome.
homes, to the hospitals. I mean, it was crazy. I
Awesome.
literally ordered it because I heard from Italy. As soon as I heard that coming from Italy, I went ahead and ordered it. So I was very lucky on that one, and I was able to support the community a whole lot. But at first everybody panicked because what are we going to do? We're never going to sell real estate, right? And then everybody's going to stay in the house. Nobody's going to
Because initially it was scared. March, April was scary.
That was scary because you don't want anybody in your house. How are you going to sell a house if you're not going to want anybody in your
How do
house?
you get your CO? How do you do the inspection? Yeah.
Exactly. And I don't want to move out. I'm going to have movers coming in and then put COVID all over my stuff. No. So this was kind of like the story. But then again, humanity, we realize that we need to move on. And at that point, you don't want to live in a building with everybody else, and you cannot even go to the hallway. You can't get outside. So I've got to move out of here. I got to move to a single family. You want to have a yard. The kids are locked in a townhouse. I need them outside. Yeah. I've got to have a pool. All these things became, and the longer we waited, the more emotional we became. But also now what you see is finally people are vaccinated. So I guess the segment, 20% of the market is older people who are downsizing, or snowbirds as we call them, moving to Florida for the year. Those did not come on the market because they were at risk. They did not want to put their house on the market.
Yeah.
But now,
so wait a second. So that caused tighter inventory.
Oh my gosh, it was awful. It was awful. Yeah, okay. So you had hiked up demand and psychologically hiked up demand, meaning that people really have to move now at any price. It's either I'm going to move or I'm going to divorce you.
Right. I mean, and money's cheap.
I gotta make a change, right?
Yeah, money's cheap.
Yes, interest rate went to zero. Money became cheap, really cheap. Money is affordable, and everybody we have the money. There's a lot of money in the market right now. Yeah. So and stock market did great. So we also have money there. So really, with the tight inventory, which was throughout the United States, and really tight where we are in DC, we were 30%, 40% down on inventory.
Wow.
Which was crazy. So we saw offers to a point where it became unrealistic. Unlimited escalation. I'll escalate unlimited. So you name your number, kind of thing. And really, it's becoming a little better because now we have people that are vaccinated, and though that segment is now on the market, the older people selling houses, coming back to the market, able to show their house. So it's eased up, but it's still very much seller's market.
Also, and this is typically in these type of markets where they're compressed, new construction steps in and will charge a premium and are happy. But in this case, wood was up 400%. Cost of goods are up 400%. You couldn't find labor. So I hear that some of the new construction inventory that typically would be in the market is not, because they're like, you know what? I'm just gonna have to build. I might sell it for more, but I'm building it for more. So a lot of new construction builders are on the sidelines on purpose, which is making it even worse in terms of the supply standpoint. Is that your understanding as well?
Oh yeah, big time. That's a very good summary, Tom, what you just said. Here's the issue. Not only that supply is not there for materials, and also employees are not there because sometimes it's cheaper to stay at home than versus at work,
Yep.
because the government gave money. And also, the county officials were closed. We couldn't get permits. And then you have stack of permits that from months ago that they're
Yep.
still trying to get out. So
Yep.
permitting and material and the cost of material and delivery and employment, this has been very tough for builders. Prices went up. Builders are in terms of loving it because they can sell really well,
Yeah.
but they don't have the product.
Okay. So you do not have a crystal ball. We're not going to hold you to it, but I trust your judgment, and I trust that you at least have your finger on the pulse. What does 2022 look like? And I want you to give the buyer's perspective as a buy side, as well as a seller's. And I want to stick for residential for now.
All right, let me bring the crystal ball for a second. Hold on.
I love it. Hope that's a glass of wine.
Exactly. So here's the thing. What I see is going on right now. Yeah, market had relaxed a little bit, meaning that we still have tight inventory.
Yeah.
But so what you see right now in the summer, which is very interesting, we have more of people willing to put their house on the market, but we have also a lot of buyers fatigue. So a lot of the buyers like, I had enough. I lost 7, 8 houses. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
I'm taking vacation for the first time ever. I can
Yeah.
actually travel. I want
Yeah.
to see my mother, my granddaughter, blah, 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 blah. Everybody's traveling.
That's if you can find a vacation home.
Yes,
Correct.
exactly.
Which is another podcast
It's
in
a
itself.
whole, yes, exactly. This is another industry doing right now really well, right? The travel industry. But it's time. We need to do that. If we can't change a house, at least I'm going to travel, go on vacation. Finally, I'm tired of this craziness. So you have a little less buyers on the market.
Okay.
You have a little more inventory, so it's a little bit kind of like relaxed.
Yeah.
But it is an artificial relaxation, meaning that we're going to go right back to this, because these people who were looking for houses, they did not disappear, died, or went over to another country. They are going to come back on vacation, and they're going to come right back at looking at houses. So if you in the market right now, it's good for you to do it right now. Actually looking, don't take this mini mental vacation. Look for houses, because you can actually scoop up properties right now. It's a great time. If you don't, for 2022, coming to the spring market, in my opinion, going to start in January.
Okay. So start earlier.
Yep.
A little earlier.
Yep. People are going to start earlier, and it's going to be very much still a seller's market. Although the earlier you buy a property, the better price you're going to get, the more chances for you to scoop something good. Meaning if you're going to be waiting until April, May, you're going to see another price increase that you just missed in January if you would have bought January, February.
Now, not to get too philosophical, but this is also called the Great Reset. People are rethinking about their lives. The Great Resignation, where people are like, I'm 45 years old. I'm like, I'm not where I want to be in my life. I want to get out of here. I want to frolic in the woods. Did that kind of hash out, or will you maybe still see some of those kind of moves and kind of activity when people do go back to work and they're like, oh, you know what? This ain't for me. Like do you think that kind of is built in already, or do you think we'll see some of that as well still?
Oh, you're going to see all of that still. I
Okay.
think there's a lot of self thinking that's going on with people. There's also, I've been stuck in my house. I gained pounds. I need to
Yes.
start going out and redo what I need to do, go back in track with my life, or I need to change
Yeah.
my life. This has been a great time for soul searching for a lot of people.
Yeah. I
And
agree.
sometimes over soul searching, meaning you over want to correct right now. Take a chill. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Relax. Think about yourself, your life, everybody. Don't you can't change everything in a heartbeat. It's okay. We're all in this together. And that's my advice to people, really.
That's some great advice. So I want to make sure I filter this before we conclude. If you're on the buy side, still look, because there may be some buyer's fatigue. So people may be out of the market artificially. That may be a way to scoop in, but also be patient. And we didn't talk about this, which I think I'll mention is don't. And I know you took the emotion out of it a long time ago. Don't be emotional. Don't fall in love with that house. Don't fall in love with that property. Don't fall in love with that deal, because it may go away quickly. Because if you fall in love with it, you're going to get disappointed, and then you may get buyer's fatigue and miss out on an opportunity. So just be patient, right? Keep your eye on the market. Have a have a great realtor. Don't rely on the Zillows. If the Zillow connects you with a realtor and you're not going to buy that property, be honest with that realtor. I hate it like when, like for me, if I meet a realtor, I know the first point of contact. You kind of have to work with them. I say, hey, if I'm unhappy with them, I'm going to be upfront and say, I'll use you for this deal, but I'm not going to be committed to you because I'm looking other areas. Or you know what, you're my person, and commit to them, and they'll work for you because they want to sell you a house.
Right.
And I guess on the sell side, um, just look at like you said, people's track record, come up with the valuation on price, because I also, as a seller, I don't want people to have realistic expectations to think that all of a sudden their $600,000 home is $1 million home, and that's not the case in most cases as well. So, before we conclude, how do you manage expectations in this crazy market?
Yeah, it's this market, real estate. You mean that there's good agents and there's amazing agents out there, and what makes a difference between that
Yeah.
is you really have to realize this is you're helping somebody in their most important decisions, one of the most important decisions of their life, having kids, getting married, this and that, buying a house. I'm gonna live in this house.
Yeah.
Am I
Well,
gonna be
yeah.
happy? I'm gonna raise my kids in here. I need to look at you, Tom, and look at your eyes, look at your family, look at your life, look what you like, and
Yep.
understand you. I need to really understand you and understand what your lifestyle is all about to be able to help you. And once we have this, we track together, we together in sync. And I always tell my clients, listen, it's okay. We may find it in the first house we're going to go. We may not find it for 6 months, but this is your house you're going to live in. This is your life,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
So my suggestions to the buyers is, guys, let's not be totally emotional. Let's look at it the right way. That's why you have an agent, because we're not emotionally involved. And if we're in sync, and if I understand you, and this is my biggest job, is to actually understand you, I can help you with those decisions. And that's really important because it's a life decision about living in this house. It's not how big the kitchen is, it's how I'm going to live my life in this house. And so that's kind of one thing for the buyers. For the sellers, they've been going through this craziness where my neighbor sold my house and had 20 offers. And they got $130,000 over asking. So my house is definitely 150,000 more
Mm.
because that's what it's worth, right? Because I have an extra cabinet in the kitchen. You know what I mean?
The cough
And
came back.
you go through that. So first of all, we are a more normalized market, which is good market for both sellers and buyers, really.
Yeah.
And we're getting into this better market for everybody. That's number one. We still, interest rates are low and it's great. But if we overprice it, you're not going to get your high price. And then when you're going to reduce your price, you're not even going to get your reduced price because the buyers are conditioned also that it will sell in 2 days. And if it didn't sell in 2 weeks, something is wrong with your house.
Good point. Good
So,
point.
so for sellers, you kind of want to make sure that you price it not low because you may or may not get over asking. You may or may not get multiple offers right now, but not high because you may not get your price, and then you're gonna when you reduce it, you're definitely not gonna get your price. So you really want to kind of very, very, very strongly think about the price and price it to the market. It's so crucial. I can't tell you how many times people have made mistakes, and agents just to get the listings will give you a high price, and then
Set up for disappointment.
yes, and then you reduce the price and blah blah blah. It's crucial. The market is great. Price it right.
Love it. So in short, and you heard it here, she's bearish on the 2022. Still think it's going to be a good market, but with opportunities for buyers as well who are patient and willing to scoop things up with not rushing. So, Nurit, before we conclude, how can we find you?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Teamnurit.com. It's N like Nancy, URIT, teamnurit.com. That's my website. And my phone number is my direct phone number. You can call me directly. I'm the team leader and I'm managing partner of the agency.
Awesome.
Number is 301 346 5252.
That's what I love about it. Gives her number, reach out to her if you're in the area and you could employ her. Utilize her services. If some reason you want to ask her for advice, feel free. I'm going to put a link below to her website as well, just to make it easy for her. Nurit, thank you for being on the New Theory podcast.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You asked great questions. So thank you for having me.
My pleasure.